My friends, welcome back to 200 3D models in FreeCAD series. Today I want to work on exercise 31. Exercise 31 is a simple object, so I don't think I will need this technical drawing. By the way, if you're just watching this video in this series, this is a book by Sachidananda Jha that I'm following and building one model every day on FreeCAD 0.21 version. You can download this book online. I don't own this book, so I cannot link it in the description. With that, let's go ahead and start working. As I said, I don't want to use this technical drawing for this model as if I didn't have it, but I want to work on part design. And part design, I want to create a body and start working with the sketch on XY plane. Right, and this image is kind of in our way, so let's go ahead and then transform it, keep it on this side, right? And let's go back to sketching. So what I want to do, I want to create a slot, because basically it's a slot, and the length of this two center is 60. The radius of this outside corner is 20, right? And there are two holes in the middle. So now I want to make these two holes, but at the end of this video I want to come back to it and see how this workflow, how this sequence of work changes the outcome. So let's go ahead and then make a radius of 10 on this one, and this inside is a little smaller, radius 16/2, so that's 8. So we got that part sorted out. Let's go ahead and then rename that to, I'm going to say, sketch base. I want to make a pad out of it for 40 millimeter. So let's make a pad out of it for 40 millimeter. Right, we got that sorted out. Let's go ahead and bring it in a little closer. Okay, now I want to make this notch, this depression, like almost half of the body, and I want to do it following the best practices. So if you have never heard of topological naming issue in FreeCAD, there is a video that I made in my channel. I'll link the video in the description. It's a real issue. It's a known issue that developers are trying to fix it, but until then I want to keep my sketches independent of each other as much as I can. So this depression will be a cut, and the distance between that cut and the center is 20. So I want to keep this distance 20, right? And then it does not matter how wide this cut is. So I want to make it symmetric first, and then make it a wider body, say 60. It doesn't have to be on this edge. Also, as long as this edge is outside of this body, I'm fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and then say this is 70. It's a wider body. So that's my cut that I'll be making. So I'm gonna say sketch cut. And actually the cut that we have been working in part is called pocket in part design. So maybe I want to rename that as pocket. Go with the flow. But the pocket is now at the bottom of the object because I just clicked on XY plane and then started drawing it. We want that pocket to be about 10 millimeter above the ground. So we can do that by coming to sketch pocket and select it. Come to attachment in the data tab, not the view tab, data tab. Come to attachment, and in the position I want to say in the Z it is 10. Alright, now I can make the cut. So select the sketch and come here and then say pocket. If you'll notice, it's went downwards. I want to make it go upside, and then I want to say through all in the type. I can type in the value too. The dimension I can say 200. That will still work, or I just can say through all. So that way it's a cut. Now if you'll notice, there is a protrusion coming out of this hole outside the hole. Let's go ahead and take that one taken care of. So another sketch on XY plane, right? And around here I will have to draw two circles to make that protrusion. So this is radius 10, as you can see from here, and this one will be radius 8, and this point will be 60 millimeter away from the center. All right, so now I'll show you another thing. Without making this 60, I could say, let's take this center as a reference. That would give us the center, right? We could do that too, and then match this point with this point. I just wanted to keep this sketch as much of independent as they are. So let's go ahead and then keep that 60. Let's not take any external points if we didn't have to. All right, take this sketch. So that's the sketch. I'm say protrusion, and bring it up by 10 millimeter in the Z direction, and then pad it up by 5 millimeter. So that's our main object. There is a fillet in here that we will have to apply, and it will be 2, right? Another fillet on here. And another fillet, it is 5 millimeter. So that's our object. It's pretty simple. We've built the object. Job well done. I wanted to take another couple of minutes to show you another tool in FreeCAD in part design. We have that in part workbench as well, which is thickness, right? It's a thickness. So what if, instead of making it this big block, what if I wanted to make the shell of this object? So I want to make a shell of this object, which is taking things away from inside, making it material economic, right? So the easiest to do it is select this face that I want to make the hollow out of it, and then hit thickness. I want to go it inward, right? And then keep it 1 millimeter for now. Let's say 2 millimeter or even 3, right? Now this one did not take it because there is a 2 millimeter fillet here. It interferes with our operations. So let's go back to 1.99 millimeter. That took it. So that's our limit. We cannot make it more than 2 because this fillet here is 2 millimeter. Anyway, now if you'll notice, there is this face that showed up that I just didn't want to, right? And then also these columns surrounding this hole, I didn't want them in this shell. I mean, if I did want to have them, that would be great. Now I know what to do. I didn't want them. I wanted to make it a complete hollow. So there are other workbenches that takes care of these issues, like curved and surfaces and draft workbench, but I found a workaround in part design where I want to make this shell, this thickness tool, work just by modifying one of our work trees. So what I mean by that is, let's keep it here, right? Let's open up a new document, and I want to build that object real quick. So if I remember correctly, on the XY plane, there was a slot of 60 millimeter arm length, and this radius was 20. And there were 2 holes that I just don't want to draw them right now. I want to pull that up by 40, right? And then draw another sketch on XY plane to make a cut, which will be a rectangle, and the distance between this and the axis is 20. This length, we are keeping it a little longer, so 85 sounds great. And I want to make this symmetric, that way everything will be constrained. maybe keep that length as 50. All right, I want to pull that up by 10. Pretty good, like, whatever we did in the past, I just didn't make these holes. And make a pocket in the reverse direction through all. And now, about this protrusion, I want to build it up. I want to build that protrusion up by drawing another sketch on XY plane and draw a center, a circle. And I don't see the circle, so let's turn on the section view. This radius, I want to keep that outside radius, which was 10, and make it 60 millimeter away from the center. So this is as well, this will go 10 millimeter in the Z direction as well and go up by 5 millimeter. So we have the outside shell built. Inside it's solid, nothing, no feature added. Let's go ahead and take care of these fillets as well. This is 2 millimeter and this fillet will be, come on now, 5 millimeter. All right. So this is solid inside and we got the outside features built. Now I want to apply that thickness here. I want to make that inward. Now I can go 3 millimeter. Can I? I cannot. Can I go to 2 millimeter? Yes, I can go to 2 millimeter. So this fillet actually limits our ability to work on here. Anyway, we wanted a 2 millimeter in the previous as well. So here, all right, here what I want to do is take care of these holes now. So that will be another sketch that we did not take care of the holes to begin with. Now I want to make those holes on XY plane. So it will be simple. Let's turn on the section view. It will be 2 holes. So this will be 8 radius and this will be 10 if I remember correctly. And then the distance between them will be 60 millimeter. So it could be a little, I feel like it's a little repetitive to have the 60 millimeter entering every time. That's where the spreadsheet comes in, makes it simple. But again, we could reference it with one of the sketches, but I just didn't want to do that. I want to keep them separated and independent. Now select pocket. Let's make it through all. Don't see anything. If it's not live previewing, it's something wrong. So let's make it reverse. Yes. So there, we got our object as it was described in our model. Right here, we got the object with holes in there in part design. So the first one, we actually had the model, but in part design, it did not take care of the holes. And I don't know, it feels like, it doesn't have any columns inside, but this one it does. So just by modifying the workflow, we can choose which one we wanted to build. Is it this one that completely hollow inside, or this one where I wanted to have 2 columns to support the hollow side? I hope you enjoyed this video with the little tricks on the thickness part, just how important this tree, the work tree is, and modifying the work tree, we can achieve different things in the same workbench. Thank you for watching. I will see you in exercise 32 then.